Hello, everyone, and welcome to a bit of a different Rangers Rabble today. We're going to hopefully, if UEFA are on time, which they never usually are, we're going to have a little bit of a watch along, or at least have the draw live, and we can sort of react as the teams come out. But today I'm going to be joined by Brian, Graham, and Alex. Everyone all right? Everyone excited?
Like a wee kid waking up on Christmas morning.
Brilliant.
Exactly.
So it's going to be so good. I'm looking away. I've got another screen here just like to keep the draw up. So hopefully we'll be all good. So everyone, yeah, if you could like, subscribe, all the usual. It's hopefully it's just going to be a really fun pod, especially after last night. As usual, sponsored by Zenit Coins. RR10 at the checkout will get you 10% off all the Rangers bits, which Brian's shown us for, Wilf has shown us. Absolutely amazing stuff. If you are on YouTube on your phone, you may need to just cross off the live chat just for 2 seconds, hit that like button, and then you can pop it back up. So, whilst we wait for UEFA to start actually moving along with things, I think we'll start straight on last night. It might as well, won't we? Brian, what were your thoughts going into the game? Because I sort of remember you saying you were quite confident beforehand. I mean, my confidence and nerves were absolutely shot to pieces, to be honest. And then the first 10 minutes really didn't help. Like, what were you thinking?
No, I mean, I must admit, I kind of had a sneaky feeling we'd get through, but never imagined we'd get a clean sheet. I thought we'd either win 2-1, 3-2, or go extra time or possibly penalties. Never imagined we'd win the game in 90 minutes. I must admit, as I said last night, I felt as though we weathered a couple of storms in the first half. They came at us quite hard in the first half, and they had several good chances. And I always said to myself, well, the longer this goes 0-0, the longer their fans will get nervous, and so it proved to be the case. You could see them in the second half. The fans, the more chances they missed, the more they were like, "Oh, it's not. Is it going to be our night?" Blah blah. But yeah, it was just brilliant, and full credit to everybody at the club. It was a brilliant game. They played probably how we probably thought. They keep it tight. Nothing silly in the first half. Have a little go in the second. But the biggest credit's got to go to Tillman. I mean, anybody in the universe would have probably thought, "Oh, here's my chance. I'll be the glory man." But Tillman was so unselfish. He's seen Cholak just on his own and squared it to him. So I would have to say fair play to Tillman for noticing that, because everybody would have been seeing the headlines and everything, but Tillman didn't. He was a team player last night, and yeah, it was just a great performance.
Yeah, and I just lost the comment. I believe it was from Aldo. Oh no, here it is. Here we go. Graham, felt ashamed that I thought we couldn't do it last night. Now, I was sort of on the fence myself a little bit with this, because I felt, like Brian said, if we could keep it tight and just grow into the game, frustrate their fans like teams try to do to us, we'd have a chance. But I mean, what were you thinking all through the game? I mean, as I said before, I was absolutely shot to bits.
I kept changing my mind all throughout the day. I kept thinking the first leg at Ibrox, it was an equal match in my opinion, two evenly sides. So I kept on saying, we've got a chance, we can do it. But then the closer it got to kick off, I was like, oh no, here we go. Then the bus carry on, I was like, that better not affect the players. So I was going through everything. But as soon as we kicked off, that was me. I was full support and full confident we would do it. And to be honest, the performance I thought was outstanding actually for away from home in Europe. But yes, they had chances, but apart from really the Gakpo one that he put over the bar, kind of open goal, they never really had too much. McLaughlin made also two good saves, but apart from that, they were, for a team that was trying to get into the Champions League, they weren't dominating us. And some of the play that we did in the first half especially, I put in the group chat earlier, imagine if John Lundstrom scored that goal, the build-up, all the kind of one touch and 1-2s all over the pitch down the left-hand side. that added to the collection of good team goals we've scored over the last 2-3 years. But it was a great performance, and like Brian was saying, Tillman, outstanding performance for somebody so young. And we talk about decision making quite a lot. We talk about some players like Scott Wright and that. He made the correct decision and gave Kovac the tap-in to put us into the Champions League, and that's why we're here today.
Yeah, 100%. Where's this one? Brian Miller, can we my sounds? We absolutely will do. Absolutely will do, because he was superb last night. The draw is starting, but yeah, I don't know if they're going to go through some sort of award system first that they usually do. They bring out sort of the next player per pot, I think. That's how they usually do it. I'm not sure if it's still the thing. So while they're doing these little trailers, then Alex, for everyone that doesn't know, Alex is our sort of predict the future guy at Rangers Rabble. Whenever we get a good result, Alex has always called it in a screenshot that he's only just bringing up just after the result. But last night he did come up with one of these screenshots. 1-0 Cholak tap-in, but didn't tell anyone else for us to put a bet on. So you must have just been full of confidence in Alex.
Well, I didn't put my money where my mouth is, but I was pretty calm. I think somebody put in the chat that they were quite nervous last night, and for me, I was really calm going into the game. The nerves usually hit me as soon as the game started, but it wasn't really happening. And I mean, even 45 minutes in at 0-0, I don't know. I just saw us getting through. I don't know. I was really calm about it, and I think just what Graham had to say on, is the bus scenario going to affect the team, etc. I think it did. I think all it did though was rile them up more to go and win the game. You could see there was it was a 50-50 game again last night, the same as the first leg. Either team could have gone through, and you can't say that we didn't deserve to in the end. But I think you saw that there was a lot of resilience from our side, and just a lot of nobody at any point seemed out of it. It seemed like they were losing their man, they were losing the ball or whatever. I mean, there's one just towards the end of the first half. I think we've been pretty assured, and Sand slipped, and they showed their quality and obviously go in behind and almost score, but they don't. And collectively we get back together and we start. And something that we've all been critical of is this season is our second half starts, especially in the last two games. We never kicked on from a goal that, in the last 5 minutes of a half, we've not kicked on or whatever. I actually thought, although we ended the first half pretty strongly, we also started the second half pretty well. And that kind of gave me a bit of confidence, especially as the game went on.
Yeah, and just on one of those points that he's Alex has made there, Brian, nobody could say we didn't deserve to go through. I think, it was a very 50-50 game. I think you could see it was two teams that knew what was at stake, and, there was a bit of slackness at times from both teams because of that. But just on that, the deserving aspect, I don't know if you saw Joey Veerman's comments today. Is this just someone throwing his toys out the pram because he wanted to blame anyone but himself?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I was just a way to say the only person that probably didn't give us credit was Joey Veerman, but the Dutch legend that is Wesley Sneijder fairly took him down a peg or two when he commented, saying that he pretty much did nothing the whole game, and I don't know what you're on about. So no, I mean, yeah, we rode a couple of storms in the first half, as I said, but when you see the chances over the piece, I mean, second half, I think there was a header that flashed by. I think Lundstrom had McLaughlin had one good save where he
sorry, Brian, just super quickly, Michael, what did Veerman say? He basically said that Rangers shouldn't be in the Champions League. We didn't create a single chance apart from a tap in and hitting the bar and Lundstrom shooting wide, but we didn't create a single chance apparently, and they missed a couple of big chances, and that's the reason. But we didn't deserve it, according to Joey Veerman. Yeah. Sorry, Brian, Karen.
No. But following on from that, I mean, as I say, Wesley Sneijder, Dutch legend that he is, gave Veerman no cuttings at all. He basically just said to him, well, what did you actually contribute to the game? Because I didn't feel, I was actually quite worried about Veerman before the tie started, the first leg, because we tried to sign him and, a lot of other teams did. But I didn't think Veerman was very influential at all. I always thought he was a number 10 and a playmaker, but
Yeah, so
he was like a holding midfielder, and I don't think he really affected the game at all last night. But no, it was definitely sour grapes. And you don't like to see that because, at the end of the day, but as you say, it was like a chess game for both games. Both teams were nervous. They were trying to suss each other out, and we came out on best. We took our chance when we got it. They didn't. As I say, they did have a number of chances to score, but they didn't take them. And I said in a group chat last night, you don't take your chances, you're going to rue them. And that's ultimately what happened to PSV. They didn't take their chances. So, at the end of the day, we're through there now. And I literally didn't care how we got through last night as long as we did. Simple as that.
yeah, I mean, it can come down to a bit of experience as well. I know PSV have sort of struggled a few times at the qualification stages, and I think under Gio they've said we've basically made through every sort of qualification I think we've tried to make under him, and it was two-legged ties in Europe. I don't think we've been beat two-legged ties in Europe under Gio. Graham, I mean, we're gonna dip in and out of the draw as and when it comes. Player-wise, I mean, it's hard to even say that they weren't all absolutely outrageously good. I think the general consensus, apart from Cholak, was Sands sort of man of the match. What were you thinking there?
Totally agree with you there, Stu. James Sands for me, apart from one mistake in the first half, he put a sack pass, and we put us under pressure. But after that, he recovered well and he was outstanding. His reading of the game is second to none. We heard that about him. I think the American journalist that was on talking to JD, I think it was saying that he's reading of the game, he's intelligent and stuff like that. So, and we're starting to see that now. Obviously, he can play in midfield as well. So he kind of sees the game through the centre half position and the midfield position. But it was outstanding last night. He wins headers as well for someone that's not really a centre back, and just unbelievable, mate. For me, he was my man of the match, and I was quite shocked that he never got any mentions in the aftermatch stuff in the studio. It was all about Cholak and Kamara, and I can't remember who else. But I think even Goldson got a mention in that, but the rest stands out, which I think was a wee bit poor. But it was outstanding, my man of the match as well.
Yeah, and just before it comes to Alex, Derek K. Ibrox will take off in the first Champions League home game.
That is going to simply be an unbelievable night. I don't know who it's obviously going to be against, but
it's hard to imagine how it can get any louder, any better than it's been in the last season or two. But it's definitely going to be in it. You just know. Alex, I mean James Sands, like Graham just mentioned. Whether I mean, Kamara was obviously excellent. Cholak's Tillman's excellent. I mean, just my personal opinion, I actually thought Borna Barisic was superb last night. Did you? Was it just a everyone thing for you, or was it a single player that was just maybe going against the grain for you?
It's so difficult. For all the kind of slagging, so to speak, that he gets from our support, or criticism he gets from our support, and rightly deserved from time to time. I thought John McLaughlin was superb over both legs, in all honesty, and he did a really good job. Then obviously, as you say, Borna was good last night. Goldson had a really good second half. James Sands was superb. Tavernier a little bit slack in the first half, but again better in the second half. Just the whole team shape. It did work collectively as a unit. They were really good. Kamara did well. Lundstrom was brilliant. Tillman played well. Lawrence, I mean, he's unlucky not to have an absolute wonder goal where he takes a few of them on and then hits the crossbar. Kent was troubling them, and obviously Cholak as well. It is really, really difficult to go out and pick one of them. But I think I would agree with Graham. If I had to, I would pick James Sands. He's just so composed.
I think one element of last night that is overlooked, I think Ross said it last night in the reaction, when De Jong went off, I think that threw them completely. Because everything 100%. Was going through them in the first half with De Jong. And as soon as he went off in the start of the second half, I really don't think they knew what to do after that. It was almost as though De Jong went off and they thought, well, what do we do now? We don't know what to do. Their talisman was off, and I think they were lost. I really do.
Yeah, and I'll just pin that back to Graham as a bit of a tactic guru there. I completely agree with what Brian's saying. De Jong, for me, seemed like a complete focal point for them. Even in the first leg, they tried to put things to him. I think we nullified him superbly well in the first. He had that sort of half chance that flashed across goal last night, but was that the case? Nullify De Jong, and we saw the results. Obviously, he come off injured, but we just saw the results of keeping him quiet.
Yeah, I think the big games that we always seem to get Goldson and whoever he's alongside in centre half, they always seem to play well, especially when it's a big man. I always worry when it's players that are speedy more than a big man, because that's just for the league really. But like you said, once you went off at half time, PSV, they did a few kind of half chances, I would say, but he was a target man and everyone came off him. And like the star man for them, Gakpo, I don't think he's really seen much of him in the second half at all, to be honest. So it helped us, but I think the game would have probably planned out the same anyway.
Yeah, and Brian, I mean, not quite the words you used, but not far off. I think De Jong went off and they turned into Motherwell. I mean, they did just lose all sort of, I don't know. It was shape, structure. They just didn't look to have any threat going forward. I mean, there was a few moments, but nothing like what they were playing like before that.
No, I mean, at the end, what is he? 6'1", 2", Graham? 6'3". He's a big lad, and he can either take the ball down, he can hold it up well, he can head it on. But as soon as he came off, they just lost all rhythm. There was no focal point. They honestly just. It was almost as though they didn't know what to do. He was such an important player for them in the first half, and they just seemed completely lost. And thankfully for us, we took advantage because, as I say, the first half, he could have had one, possibly two goals. The one that McLaughlin made a great save in the first half when he was the left foot, I think, with Goldson, he was sliding in. But, I mean, no, they were completely lost, and they, as you say, they lost total focal point, and absolutely, it was to our benefit, and you'll absolutely take that all day.
Yeah, and every time I lose the comment, Thomas Skinner, don't want the group of death, Graham. I mean, if everyone can chuck it, is there anyone that you do want, anyone you're really keen or on getting or even avoiding?
I'm going to stick my hand up right now. I want the biggest teams coming to Ibrox. I don't care who it is.
Even in a group
of Cities, the Inter Milans. I want anybody, whoever comes, bring it on because we've waited so long for this. I don't care if it's Eintracht Frankfurt and three other average teams or it's three giants. I don't care. We've waited a long time for this, and we're due a great group.
We are, I think, Graham. It's a tough one, isn't it? Because I think you yourself said before you'd love Real Madrid. It is tough because we want a chance, and we want that chance of at least third because we want European football as long as possible. But at the same time, you can't begrudge anyone even wanting a group of death, really, can you?
No, you can't, because this is what it's all about. These nights at Ibrox are special, and our record at Ibrox is pretty good. We've beat your Inter Milans, we're drew with Barcelona's and stuff like that, and then our run of late in the Europa League and that, we've beat some big teams like Dortmund, Leipzig, and so we don't fear anybody at Ibrox. But like I said earlier on, I'd like one of Real Madrid or AC Milan for two different reasons. Real Madrid's been on my bucket list, and it's one of the stadiums my dad's not been to, so he'd like to tick that off as well. And plus, a lot of Rangers fans will be able to get tickets as well because they probably won't fill it, so we can get in the home end. Plus, AC Milan for another reason. I think, I don't know if it's 100% true, but they might be building a new stadium, so it'll be the last time kind of get the chance to go to San Siro, which I've never been to. And then Spurs, I'd like for the second pot, so we can go down and see that stadium. And then the third team, that's where I want a team that we can compete with, so we can get third, because I like to play European football after Christmas again, because we're used to that now.
I mean, that first two teams you mentioned there, Graham, Madrid and AC Milan, that is, for me, and probably yourself, people of my age, that is the royalty of European football. AC Milan and Real Madrid, they have dominated this tournament for so long, and just even be mentioning that two teams' breath would be just amazing for a club like us. It really would.
Yeah, and I mean, Alex, have you got a group in mind you'd want, or is it just bring anyone on?
Give me the 3 worst teams. I want to see Porto in there. You know, I'm wanting to see Salzburg. You know, maybe give me Chelsea. You know, or Tottenham. Give me a wee trip down to London, mate. I want teams. To be fair, I want 9 points out of 9 at Ibrox. You know, we can do all these guys no matter who's showing up. But give me teams that we can go. We'll beat them. We'll beat them all. But it doesn't matter who it is because you can put anybody in front of me and I'll go, yeah, we'll beat them. But give me a draw that, you know, if you want to give me one of the big dogs, give me one of the big dogs. Give me the biggest of the big dogs. Give me Real Madrid. Then give me a couple of teams that, you know, we can go, okay, we'll grab second in this group, grab third in this group. Because like Graham says, European football is superb past Christmas. And a Europa League run again, I mean, especially with Champions League group stage would be unreal. But why don't we...
that's brilliant. Well done, Nicholas. That's brilliant.
Why don't we just go for second? And you know, they've just taken our trophy out there, the Champions League. But why don't we just go and win that this year, you know? That'd be nice.
So since you're saying that, who's the team out of pot 2 you'd want? If we're going to get second, because we have to beat them.
Well, no, we're beating Real Madrid. I'll go for Chelsea. Like I said, I want a London trip, and I have a few ties with them. So
Leipzig's in there. We could take them.
Yeah, we've done them already. Give me someone new.
Well, I was going to mention that as well. Like the amount of teams that we've played in recent seasons that are knocking about in here: Leverkusen, Benfica, Borussia Dortmund, Leipzig, Frankfurt, Porto. You know, there's a lot of teams that we've obviously played very recently. So it just goes to show the sort of strip of teams that we've been up against already. I did want to just go on.
I'd like to get Sporting Lisbon so we can complete Portugal. We beat Braga, Porto, and Benfica never beat us, so I'd like to go and beat against Portugal.
Scott in Berlin said, if we get the mighty Bayern, would Tillman play for us? I've seen a lot of people say he wouldn't be able to play against them. I believe the rule is that he would be able to play against them. I believe in UEFA competition, you can't. There's no stipulation allowed to have a player on loan that cannot play against his parent club.
Right.
So, as far as I know, in UEFA competition, you can absolutely play against your parent club on loan.
I know I played for Atletico Madrid against Chelsea, but I think it all comes down to what's in the contract. But maybe
the one that I always remember is Kingsley Coman. I think he was on loan at Bayern from Juventus, and he scored the goal that knocked them out. So
that's right.
Coutinho as well, actually, for Barcelona, Bayern Munich.
Yeah. So as far as I know, I'm sure I've seen it somewhere that in UEFA competition especially, you cannot have that stipulation in the contract. So might be completely wrong, but that's something I do remember seeing. It looks actually doesn't look like we're that close because they're still out on the front stage. I think it's Yaya Toure is talking at the moment.
Is it not the boy Almtop?
Oh yeah, it is. Yeah.
Both of them.
Toure and Almtop.
Yeah, both of them. Yeah, there we go. So, I mean, this is just to get pot 1 out as well. It's not even to. It's going to be waiting a while for pot 4. So hopefully we can stretch it out a little bit. Brian, I mean, I was just having another little look at the pots. So we'll go through them quick. So pot 1, we've got Real Madrid, Frankfurt, Manchester City, AC Milan, Bayern Munich, PSG, Porto, and Ajax. That's done via the 6 league coefficients, and then the Champions League and Europa League winner. Pot 2 then is just pure coefficient, so it's Liverpool, Chelsea, Barca, Juventus, Atletico Madrid, Seville, Leipzig, Spurs. Pot 3, Dortmund, Salzburg, Shakhtar, Inter Milan, Napoli, Benfica, Sporting, and Leverkusen. And then pot 4 is us, Dynamo Zagreb, Marseille, Copenhagen, Club Brugge, them, Victoria Pleasant, and Maccabi Haifa. Brian, I mean, do you know one of the only disappointing things for me really is obviously if we'd won the Europa League, we would have been in pot 1. But if AC Milan finished second in their league, we're in pot 3. and it's such fine margins because we are the top seeded team in pot four. Could that play a big difference, or is it a bit irrelevant?
It might have made a slight difference if we're in pot three because you're obviously missing the likes of Borussia Dortmund, Inter Milan, Napoli. They're a big team. They're serious teams. So it might have made, well, it would obviously have made a difference if we were in that pot. But no, I've maybe, like, as I say, Alex is maybe a bit young to remember 2010 when the Champions League. Graham, you'll remember that, won't you?
I remember it.
Yeah. So, we've waited a long time for this, and, it's just bring on your Man Cities, your AC Milans, your Bayerns, your Paris Saint-Germains, Atletico Madrid in pot 2, Barcelona, Juventus, Liverpool, Chelsea. Just bring all the big teams to Ibrox. Let's experience it. We've waited so long for this. And it's easy. It's easy to say Frankfurt, Seville, sort of Shakhtar or
Still be
Salzburg.
tough, wouldn't they? Still be tough.
It's easy to say go for the. But let's just get the big teams back to Ibrox. Let's be honest.
Yeah, I mean, Brian.
The pot.
Oh, my pot. I've gone to an advert on mine. Oh no, here we go. Yeah, just going through. He's going to be slightly ahead of me, Alex. I think.
All right, yeah.
You can spoil it for us all. So yeah, they're just bringing up the pots now. So I mean, they long this thing out, don't they? Oh my God.
Absolutely.
So Brian, I know you sort of mentioned a couple of the teams you want, but is it something that we also want to see that the chance of playing teams that we haven't met competitively? When I looked at it, I think it's Man City. There was definitely a few more. I think it's Liverpool, Chelsea. A lot of the English teams we haven't even met competitively, have we? I know. Obviously, Philip Sebo scored the absolute wonder goal past Chelsea in a friendly, but I think apart from that, we haven't really met them. And there's a few other teams like lower down. We've got, I think, Shakhtar, Salzburg. I'm sure there's one or two more that we've never met. Is that something you like? Just something different, really?
That's what I always look for. I always kind of look for different. That's why I was saying like Real Madrid and Milan because I've never been before, and in my lifetime, apart from that friendly, when we beat Real Madrid, so we're favourites going at that game if we get them. But I've not seen us play Real Madrid, so that's my reasons for them. And then teams that maybe cities that I'd like to go and visit if I get the chance to go, if I get time off work. But that's the way I look for it. I don't want kind of Benfica, Porto. We've played them quite a lot recently in Braga. No, Braga actually. But we've played them in... Try to think. I've seen Barcelona. We drew with Barca, and I was out at the Bay game as well, so I've seen that. So that's what I kind of go for. I'll go for kind of a wee bit more freshness about it.
I don't know if any of you picked up, but I put in the group chat earlier. Nobody's mentioned we could draw Ajax and Bassi could go back to Ibrox.
Very true.
I would like that actually. That would be good.
Ajax is pot 1. Nobody's mentioned Ajax.
I think. Another beatable side as well.
That could be quite poetic that Bassi comes straight back and plays against us.
I'm not ready for that. not just yet.
Imagine he put in a masterclass against us, though. You'd hate to see it.
Alex, what are you doing? This is a positive podcast, man. What are you doing?
No, that's what I'm saying. Steer clear of Ajax. Give me Porto.
You might get sent off like you did against Eindhoven.
Yeah, it's true. Just over 1,600 Rangers fans in Eindhoven, and also just wanted to take that moment to mention that I think we're 60 subscribers away from 6,000 now, is it? So if you are watching, you're not subscribed, you could just hit that subscription, that subscribe button because it really does help us, and obviously you get these off the cuff podcasts, live draws. Hopefully, I mean we could even do some more things. I don't know whether Martin would entertain live watch-alongs, but anything's up for debate, eh?
Here, Graham, would you like to ticket for this game?
Yeah.
Oh, could you imagine?
We got absolutely battered in that, didn't we?
Probably, but I mean, imagine seeing those three guys up front.
Yeah, that's outrageous. And that's the thing. I've said that there's been a few clubs that we've never met in Europe, but teams like Real Madrid, we might as well know. It's a long, long time ago since.
We beat them in the friendly, didn't we?
Yeah, that's the main thing, isn't it? But the chance to go play competitively against some of these clubs is going to be huge. So, Alex, I mean, They've still not even got top one out at this point.
No,
Just going
they're
through the team.
just listen. They're just trying to ruin my night because they're putting all the videos. They're putting all the videos of the team out, and I've just seen the Frankfurt one, and quite frankly, give me Frankfurt now. Just Frankfurt. Frankfurt 5, Frankfurt 6 times. Give me Frankfurt. Do you know I'll play against Frankfurt at this stage. Don't ever show me that video again, man.
Yeah, I think we owe them one, so why not? I mean, just sort of drawing back a little bit to last night.
Hold on. Could be movement here. Pot 1 could be starting.
It's about to start.
I need to
Stu, sorry.
No, sorry, I need to update my stream, I think, because I'm still looking at Ajax highlights at the moment. Oh, here we go. Yeah, no, that's a bit better. Yeah, so it looks like we're going to get pot 1 in a second. I think Yaya Toure is going to do some of the drawing for that, but pot 1's always boring, isn't it? So you're just waiting for him to. You're just getting drawn against a group name. So
at the end of the day, this is it. This is the this is the start.
Oh.
Here we go.
Last time this happened and Rangers were in it, I was in my bed and way past my bedtime. So this is I've been allowed to stay up late this time. So
that's why we had to start early, Alex.
Yeah, absolutely.
I always thought it was about 1-2-ish.
Yeah, it's been so long, Graham. I can't really remember. So Ajax are up first. There you go.
First team drawn for the 22-23 campaign is
piping in the audio.
And Ajax.
So yeah, Ajax up first. But as I say, we'll keep on top of that and just have a look. It's a bit, as I say, it's a little bit boring the first few because they're just going into group names and Ajax is Group A.
You know, one thing I'm looking forward to is when like pot 3's done. And we've got the 8 options.
Yeah, you can then start speculating who you're going to get.
Speculating which group you'd love to be in.
I mean,
this time is FC Porto.
Right, so we're in Group A or Group B.
Yeah, there you go. I'm gonna try and throw a question at you at the same time here, Alex. So with the financial impact of last night, are you hoping to see some movement before the end of the window?
Oh, absolutely. Yes. I mean, there's no question about it. I would like, personally, I'll hand over my shopping list to Ross when I see him next. A goalkeeper, an 8. I would probably ask for potentially. I don't know if it's up to standards at Rangers if you're supposed to be injury prone to be a centre back, unless your name's Goldson. But maybe another centre back, and I would like a winger, just a bit of competition. I mean, our best 2 wingers, Matondo plays his best on the left, although he can play in the right and he plays well there sometimes. He plays his best stuff on the left, and he's not going to replace Kent, is he? So and obviously a striker, as Cammy says, a striker that isn't Kemar Roof, because as much as Roof is good for the 8 minutes he plays all season, we need somebody to compete with Cholak and potentially maybe fit Morelos.
What about R7, Alex?
Listen, thanks to their victory.
I've always been a Messi fan myself, so not for me.
I'm sure I'll see him in Asda.
Craig Davidson just asked, is this pot 1? It is pot 1, Craig. I think Frankfurt have just come out, and Yaya is just struggling to open one of the balls at the moment.
Actually,
the next two. AC Milan, there you go. So Brian, I mean, do you agree with what Alex is? I mean, even with the money, we're surely going to have to maybe shift 1 or 2 anyway because of the wage bill on top of that, and then we're not even factoring a potential Kent contract, which I think we're all hopeful for, and then I wanted to touch on Morelos anyway because of his photo yesterday as well. So, what are your thoughts on the signings?
Obviously, I want to see us keep who we've got just now. So Kent, Morelos, Tillman, and Sands. I want them signed up ASAP. Obviously, Tillman and Sands are going to cost transfer fees. Morelos and Kent is contract extensions. So that's the first 4 things I want done. After that, just. I want another striker because, as Alex said, Roof's less than reliable, to be polite. So we need another striker. problem I've got is with centre halves is we have got a lot of centre halves, but the problem is we've only got one fit, and then Sands is the added on centre half. We've got three others that are centre halves, but they're not fit. So does that mean we have to go into the loan market to get one just to get us by 6 months? I don't know.
No, it means we sell one of them.
Obviously,
that has to be
Giovanni
Helander.
knows this. Eh?
It means we have to sell one, and it's Helander for me. As much as I love him when he's fit, he's never fit. So,
No. But I mean, obviously, the club know the situation of each player's injury status, and obviously they're not telling anybody that for good reason. But you know, it's going to be a well, how long's ago it left? 8 days, is it? 7 days?
Yeah, I believe. Is it
It's not long,
check
is
for
it?
you right now.
But it's going to be a hectic period between now and the end of the transfer window.
6 days.
6 days. It's going to be a. I would be I would absolutely be amazed if we don't sign anybody between now and the window. Absolutely amazed.
11 p.m. on September the 1st, transfer window, apparently.
I think when we gave McGregor the extension, his contract, I think we've done that for this situation. I think we will sign a goalkeeper. I've said it in a few pods that I've been on in the past. I think that was just a backup, giving him that, and I think they'll have their eyes on a first choice maybe to come in, and McLaughlin would be second choice.
Do you not think they've done it for the numbers for Europe purposes, as in homegrown?
Possibly, yeah. But what I'd say as well is I hope they don't get carried away, because we need to concentrate on building this academy and keeping pathways. Yeah. I don't want people coming in if they're not going to improve the first team and just be like either an injury-prone player, a lone player, or a Darcy Leon King. And it was great seeing Adam Devine and Robbie Ure on the bench last night and in these celebrations, because that will be great for the development as well. So I hope they keep that in mind as well.
Here's pot 2 starting.
Yeah, I was just about to say, before pot 2 starts, I'll run through them quick. So Group A is Ajax, Group B Porto, Group C Bayern, Group D Frankfurt, Group E Milan, Group F Real Madrid, Group G Manchester City, and Group H Paris Saint-Germain. So the first team that's going to have another team in the group is RB Leipzig.
They're going to AC Milan's group, is it?
Well,
they can go into 4 groups apparently.
They can't be drawn into Group A because of Bayern. Yeah. So they're in E, F, G, or H.
Here we go.
Yeah, so they will play.
My heart's just started racing like right now. It's taking over. This is
F,
like
Group F. Who's that?
Group F is Real Madrid.
Wow. Well, this is like for me the first time that I've sat here, and I think the most anticipated draw since we got Borussia Dortmund, where I ran around the bar screaming the lungs off, just going, bring it on kind of thing, and I was ready for it. This one for me, this is just there's nothing will top this for a while in terms of draw wise, until obviously the draw for the last 16 when we have to knock out all the big boys.
Yeah, and it's worth mentioning, everyone, that Borussia Dortmund was another one that Alex Post told us we were going to win against as well.
We'll change that. There's only one man in the entirety of the world who can confirm that I said that. But will Scott Kerr ever say that I did? I'm not sure. As we sat in the background of a podcast and I said to him, we're going to beat them, by the way. I know we can. They can't defend to save their lives. And he went, nah. So I don't think it'll never see the light of day, that opinion. So unfortunately, I allegedly said that we beat Dortmund.
That's Juventus into PSG's group, so already a little bit of a group of death.
That's already a monster group right there.
Yeah.
Juventus are the team they used to be.
But they're still signing a lot of good guys.
I was having a look earlier, and these big teams are throwing around some amount of money this summer as well. Spurs are up next. So it'd be 3 groups.
This could...
few groups they can't go in. 1, 2, 3.
There's only
three groups they can't go in. Yeah. So it'll be interesting to see where they go. I'm not sure if it's still the case.
Shakhtar Donetsk.
They don't play in Ukraine at the moment, do they? They play it. Is it a neutral venue? I think.
Poland, isn't it?
Is that known yet? What
They
stadium is?
play at Legia Warsaw Stadium.
Is it-
Yeah,
it's
Poland.
Yeah.
That's Poland, isn't it?
Yes.
Which might not be bad because it's not as far to travel. It's
Yeah.
a bit of a hellish one going all the way to Ukraine, isn't it? So wouldn't be too bad in Poland.
Who's in Shakhtar's group? Spurs group.
Spurs is Frankfurt, so that's already looking
Frankfurt.
pretty tasty for me. I wouldn't mind Frankfurt and Spurs.
It's all right.
Yeah,
It'd be good to get down and see that stadium anyway.
yeah. Try their
I've been
cheese.
down. It's the only place that I've been waiting in the queue for the toilet whilst watching the TV at the same time. As you walk into the toilets downstairs, there are TVs. It was just insane. So yeah, it's a crazy stadium. Obviously they spent a lot of money on it, and it would be good to go and silence that. Yeah, for sure.
Liverpool only got 3 groups. They can kind of believe we're all waiting for the famous in the Champions League. What buzz? Absolutely, Kenny.
That's absolutely just nailed it for me. Nailed it.
I can't even though I sort of at the back of my mind thought we were going to be here, I still couldn't ever imagine being here, weirdly enough. Group A for Liverpool, so they are going to be going in with Ajax. So,
That's
I think
another
Liverpool will
great
be
group.
pretty happy with that, yeah.
Wow, that's a great group as well.
Mm.
Not
And
for
then,
me.
of course, Liverpool have not started the season well either, so
Bet you, Gerard, wish you stayed now.
yeah.
I mean,
Yeah, I was just
there's
struggling
was it
again.
PSG, Juventus, Ajax, Liverpool.
PSG,
That's
Juventus.
2 monster groups straight off the bat.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. You want to avoid them
Seville
at all
next.
costs. The one the one that's the scariest for me is PSG.
Yeah.
Because I'd love to go and see some of the big dogs, and I think that's absolutely vital part of what the Champions League is. You have to play against the champions and the elite clubs. PSG are just scary. They will put 7 past you with no remorse.
Alex, back in 2010, well, when we played Barcelona, I think it was 07-08 season, we played Messi, I think it was Henri and Eto'o. So,
Ronaldinho.
we kept them
Yeah,
quiet
yeah.
that night.
That's slightly different because we've now got Gio Bronckhorst who, he's a bit of a, tactical flip-flop. The guy can change things as it was. Back then it was Walter Smith and nobody saw behind our back line. Nobody at all.
Thou shall not pass.
Absolutely.
Of course, that was the famous Messi comment. Good
Anti-football.
company with Joey Veerman, wasn't it? But yeah, anti-football Messi's comment that season. So Seville went into Manchester City's group, and now we've got Barcelona coming out.
I mean, Seville, what was it, Graham or Alex? Was it 4 out of 5 years, 3 out of 4 years they won the UEFA Cup?
Yeah, they won it. They pretty much own that now, don't they?
I hope
Pretty
Barcelona are in Bayern's group here, please.
They can only go in Porto or Bayern's group.
Give them
Oh,
Bayern.
big man is
come
on.
on.
I couldn't. I'm just here until Rangers get drawn out. I couldn't. I'm too buzzing, sitting in the background. So, sorry,
Bayern Munich. Bayern Munich and Barcelona.
Yes, beautiful. It's a beautiful
Oh my
group.
God!
It's a beautiful group to avoid.
That's 3 monster
mental
groups
group.
right there.
That is a mental group.
Oh my God!
I think that means Atletico Madrid are in Porto's group, because Chelsea can't be drawn in the first 4.
Yeah. Oh my
Yeah.
God!
Yeah,
That's 3
absolutely
big
correct.
groups already. We're really halfway.
Chelsea up next.
Yeah, they'll be Porto then.
I'm watching this
No,
on YouTube. Is everybody?
they're
else
AC
so
Milan.
ahead?
Oh, sorry, no,
Chelsea
AC Milan. Yeah, they can't be in the first 4, can they? Yeah, so they'll be AC
Chelsea
Milan.
You
are
behind
AC Milan.
Martin?
Give me
No,
that
I'm
group and all.
watching- I'm
I
watching
want
it
that group.
I'm watching it on YouTube. So
I've got it on my telly at the side.
I'm
got
on
it earlier as
YouTube.
well.
I've got it on YouTube, and then Chelsea have just been put into that
Yeah,
group.
just
Yeah. It's just drawing it. He's in group.
Well, it's the
Well, it's
final one.
Atletico
It's-
Madrid.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
they're going into
Yeah, so he's
they're
now-
going into group. The group. They're going into group with Porto. So
Yeah.
there's a
that
couple.
the
Of
last
groups,
one?
there's a couple of groups there. That
There's
you
a
think,
couple of groups that are possible there now.
Yeah, I want them.
and there's a couple.
And then there's the 3 absolute monster
Yeah.
groups.
It's scary.
You
The
get it.
glamour
you like-
groups.
You've
Have
got
you get a
so
team that you prefer, Martin? That you'd like?
Say that. Say again.
You get a team that you prefer, you'd like in the group?
Oh, give me anybody. Just
Anybody?
Just don't give me,
Martin,
don't give me two really, really good teams.
Martin, as it stands now, pick one of the glamour groups and then one of the not so glamour groups.
Right. Well, as it stands right now, I can't see the groups.
So it's Group A. Group A is Ajax and Liverpool. Group B
Right.
is Porto and Atletico Madrid.
Mhm.
C is Bayern Munich and Barcelona.
Nope.
D is Frankfurt and Tottenham.
Give me it.
Group E is AC Milan and Chelsea.
That's where I want to be.
I take
Group
one of
F.
these.
That's where I
Group
wanna
F is Real Madrid and RB Leipzig.
Nope.
Group G is Manchester City and Sevilla. And Group H is PSG and Juventus.
Yeah.
I don't want to play Sevilla after the experience that us fans had over there. Well, no, us.
Yeah, that's a good point.
That's a good point.
Very good
Yeah.
point.
Good point.
You know, Group B maybe, but you know, Ian Ross says it in the comments. You know, they're a good team, Atletico. I mean, it's so difficult because
This is what you're up against in Champions League, though, Martin, isn't it?
yeah, but you can say okay, I would take that group, but they're still good teams. You know,
Aye.
That's what I was going to say. I'm glad the groups now over the last maybe 3, 4, 5 years, they're starting to get a lot harder. It was used to be like you could pick the top two going through straight away.
Do you know what
It's
point?
a
Do
great-
you know what point you made though that I thought was really telling, and I think it goes to show just how good we've been. See the amount of teams that we've played in the Europa League who are now playing
Yep.
Champions League,
Yep.
and
Yep.
it's teams that we've, you know, Benfica, we got a free each draw over there. We should have won. You know,
Should
Bayer
have done it,
Leverkusen the first time gave us a bit of a spanking, I know, but you know we've played quite a lot of these teams in the Europa League and beat them.
They're the only ones that Leverkusen are the only ones that have gave us a spanking, really. Drew with Villarreal, who we've been in Champions League semi-finals. We've, like you said, the whole Portugal, we've beat that.
Completed it, mate. Completed it.
Completed it. Aye.
Napoli's out now.
That'd be a good away game, by the way. That'd be a good away game.
Napoli, they can only go in E, F, G, or H.
Oh,
Out of the
Martin,
three-
I did not see that.
Out of pot 1, 2, and 3. So, how many teams are there in each pot? Is it 6? 8. So out of those teams, out of those 24 teams, there's 6 which we have faced in the last couple of years.
By the way,
and
my
obviously-
apologies. I have to say straight up, you know, there's one team in it that's not very good in Europe. I apologise, Paul. You're right. You're right.
Oh, well, unfortunately for us, we can't.
Ajax,
draw that
Liverpool,
one.
Napoli.
No, do you know what? That's a good group.
That's a great group.
That's
Yeah.
not an
Keep
easy
me
group.
so far away from that. Keep me so far away from that.
Yeah.
Basically, Martin, Alex is wanting all the daubers of the whole draw.
I mean, it's a
No.
fantastic word. It's a
Maybe
great word.
he's wanting one decent team and then 2 daubers.
Now I'll take this Milan and Chelsea group now.
you
As
know
long
what?
as they give me
Alright.
someone like Salzburg. Oh, never mind. Never mind.
Right,
I'm
what
gonna
group
tell
can
them.
they go into? They can go into. Is it B, C,
E, F,
D?
G, or H.
E, D, E, F, G, H. They can go in anything but A. All right, that's nice. Oh, there's the only Austrian team in it, aren't they? So
So now I kind of want the Real Madrid Leipzig one.
No,
It's
you're
not
mental.
well, Graham, you have fun. You have fun. You know, wanting that group.
Yeah.
You're crazy,
See
crazy.
if we end up in that group, Graham, you're sacked.
We put Leipzig out last year. So that's the second pot. So we've got a chance to finish the second.
Group E, which is.
Oh, give me that group.
Milan
Give me
and
that group. Give me that
Did you not
group,
just say
man.
that, Alex?
Give me that group right now.
You just said that.
Stu, come
How
on.
good would a
Come on.
battle of be though?
I've got the receipts this time. I've got the receipts. I've got the receipts. My European prediction. I mean, my European prediction records is if we go in there now, I've got all the receipts. There's no need to screenshot it. It'll be a screen record this time.
Can I just ask, right, when we get in, and that's Benfica just come out, when we get into the Champions League next season, right, can they just employ somebody who knows how to open a ball?
Oh, Denny.
Oh, he
This
struggled,
is
didn't he?
tragic.
He struggled big time.
See, to be fair, will it not be like, someone like Ali McCoy or someone like that? Because they have to have someone from the holders, right?
Yeah,
We've got to have somebody at least won the Golden Boot back to back.
Yes.
that's true. Yeah,
You know what I mean?
he's doing another one now. So
There's only 2 other
What was
players
that?
done it, I think.
was that Salzburg that went into Chelsea and Milan's group? Is that
It was indeed, yeah, absolutely.
Benfica's went into Paris Saint-Germain.
PSG, Juventus,
Yeah.
and Benfica?
See, that group can go and take a fly and you know what takes self. Nah. Nah, I don't want that group. Nope.
It's interesting to see who comes in this Bayern and Barca group, isn't it?
Dortmund's out, so
Right, Dortmund. Right,
It's not going to be
okay.
them.
they can't go into Bayern Munich's group, obviously.
No.
How can you be so excited to get to the Champions League and then as soon as you see the groups go, nope, nope,
Yeah.
nope.
Man City, Sevilla, and Dortmund.
Definitely not.
No, that's a
Get me so far away from that. I don't want to be anywhere near
It's
that.
not even a fun group, is it? Because we've played Dortmund. You know, we went to Sevilla for the Europa League, and then City. It's just I'm not interested
See,
in City.
do you want to know that genuinely the big issue if we did draw Manchester City is that their fans are crap.
Yeah.
There's
100%.
no atmosphere in their stadium.
That's
Also-
Bayern Leverkusen, that mate.
Yeah.
They all get hundreds of tickets, though.
Nah, you would have loads of
Yeah.
tickets. That's true.
But it would
Watch
be
this, right? Watch this. See at the end of pot 3, we'll do another big mad presentation before they come to pot 4. It'll be like an hour
No,
and a
yeah.
half. Jeez.
it's gonna, all they're gonna do is they're gonna go through all the teams, you know, do the wee video clips,
highlight
and
package,
we'll come to group 4, and I'll tell you what happened because it happened last year, didn't it? What happened is they'll put a team in the wrong group, and we'll have to restart all over again.
Do you know you're just the joy of the group, Alex, aren't you? Just the
Yeah.
joy
Yeah,
of nature.
No, I'm the joy of the group. In fact, I'm enjoying this podcast so much that I want them to restart. I want to sit here for another 2 hours.
Real
Well,
Madrid.
my football has been put back to tonight because
Oh.
obviously it wasn't on last night. So
that's Ajax, Liverpool, and Napoli.
Sporting and in Barca's
interested.
group. So it's Sparta, PSG,
Not
Sport.
interested. Don't.
Ooh,
I'm not
Well,
interested.
makes third place doable.
See, once they've done pot 3, we all need to pick a group that we want to be in.
see, once they've done pot 3, we'll do pot 4, Brian.
Oh, they'll have the awards crap, will they not?
No.
I'm
Oh, no,
just,
sorry, I got it wrong. Sport are in Tottenham's group. Sorry.
I'm so nervous.
Oh, yeah.
Martin,
So Frankfurt, Tottenham, Sporting.
Give me that group. Give me that group right now.
Martin, I don't
That's
know.
not a
It's
bad
up,
group, actually.
obviously, it's up to you, but
That's two of the teams I
Ian's
said I
calling for
wanted
my
to
head.
do.
Hold on. Sorry, Alex.
Ian's calling for my head in the comments there. So
Well,
I don't know. It might be time to go.
it's under consideration, Ian.
Shakhtar,
I'm a
Leipzig,
horrible,
Real
horrible
Madrid.
person when I'm nervous, by the way. I'm a
I'm saying
horrible person.
Real Madrid, Shakhtar, and Leipzig.
Oh, yeah. Real Madrid,
got a
Leipzig,
wee-
and Shakhtar. That's
we've
not a
got
bad
a
group.
wee,
I won't mind
Not a
that.
bad group.
Shakhtar have lost a lot of their players, like the Brazilians.
Yeah, I
and that.
wouldn't mind that
You've-
at all.
you've
Playing
got
at
your-
Poland as
you've-
well.
You've got your giant in there and then 2 okay teams.
There's Inter Milan.
Who are they with?
and Bayern and
They got to, wouldn't they?
keep me so
They got to.
clear.
Right, hold on. One at a time, or people don't know.
Yeah, Group C is Bayern Munich, Barcelona, and Inter Milan. It's the most insane group I've ever seen.
No, it's not
Oh
for
my
me.
God.
It's not for me, that one.
That's your group, isn't it?
Oh. Can you do a run through of the groups, Stu?
Yes, so we've got Group A is Ajax, Liverpool, and Napoli. Group B is Porto, Atletico Madrid, and Bayer Leverkusen. Group C, we've got Bayern Munich, Barcelona, and Inter Milan. It just doesn't get better, does it, no matter what you do. Group D, Frankfurt, Spurs, Sporting Lisbon.
Yeah.
E is Milan, Chelsea, and Salzburg. F is Real Madrid, Leipzig, and Shakhtar. G, Man City, Sevilla, Borussia Dortmund. Tough one as well. And Group H, another tough one. PSG, Juventus, and Benfica. And there's Cholak just scoring and hugging, and then hugging.
They've just started to
yeah.
show the teams for
Right,
pot 4. This is
bring in
this
the
is it.
audio of pot 4 then.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Bring it in once they start the draw. Because it will take Yaya Toure about 6 hours to open the ball anyway.
I'm looking like I want the Real Madrid group.
It's not bad.
It's not too
Don't
bad.
mind that.
Don't give us Group C. I don't know, and I don't care if they demonetize the video or they whatever for copyright. I don't care. I'm so nervous.
Oh God, hurry up!
Can I just take this opportunity to thank everybody for watching? Please, if you can, if it's something you want to do, then become a member, where you'll get plenty of other member content. We've got our member videos on a Sunday, and the more people that sign up, the more member shows you will get. Give the show a like and a subscribe. The more likes we get, the further the video gets shared. And here we go.
Oh, God.
Nerves are written now. Nerves written.
Oh, no. Yeah, don't be a dick,
Yes, if you
please.
want to know everything about Champions League
Right,
this
Brian, no
season,
spoiling it.
we need to
Yeah, no
know
spoilers,
these
guys.
teams are going to
Yeah, I'm
play
ahead of you. Sorry, I'll have to shut up for a minute.
to complete the groups.
Here we go,
Just
guys.
see from Brian's reaction there.
Start with this team.
Celtic.
Brian, what did we just
Brian.
say?
Sorry, I just...
Seconds ago.
FC Celtic.
Okay,
Oh,
so the
come
first
on,
team
Group
is
Come on,
Celtic
Group C.
FC.
They can't go in Liverpool, Napoli, and
Glasgow.
Ajax's group.
No, they can go in any group.
Possible
They
for
can go in any
Celtic.
group.
Celtic.
Oh, can they go in any? Okay.
Yeah, the groups
Oh,
are
yeah,
just
it does.
different colours, remember.
Reminded is the team, the club which took for the first time the trophy from Southern Europe to Northern Europe.
Is it if they
Just
get A, B, C,
we'll
or
mute
D?
that wee comment, shall we? We'll mute that.
If they get A, B, C, or D, then we're
teams
in
from Spain,
we're in the
Portugal, and
next
Italy.
four, aren't we?
latter
And,
four, yeah.
Thanks
So
to
give them
Celtic,
C.
went for the first time
F.
north.
Brian, I will not tell you again.
1967.
Brian!
What's F?
Sorry.
Oh, they've got it in there.
Group
Real
F.
Madrid, Leipzig,
Group
Shakhtar,
F,
Celtic.
So in Group F,
Which
is the
means-
first group to be completed. Real Madrid,
we-
Leipzig,
if we
Another
still-
group,
Shakhtar
don't we?
Donetsk, and
We will
We're
be
in
in
group
A,
A, B,
B,
C, or D.
Oh,
C,
mate,
or
we can
D.
still get C.
the next team.
Oh, apparent.
I believe we'll be A, B, C, or D now.
Is that no including the Barca one?
Right.
That's
Yeah, that is
Barcelona's
the-
side.
Yeah, Barca C, yeah.
Got the tension.
Who's there for the
Right,
squad?
Marseille.
Representing Rangers there. It'll be
You
Robertson.
know, waiting for the coverage,
That's
Martin.
I don't want the video to get copyrighted, so I'm just on and off for the audio.
Is it Robertson that's there representing Rangers? I take it.
It will be Stuart Robertson, aye.
Just give these guys Group C, you know, get it over and done with.
Right, so
Group C,
100% we're in group A, B, C, or D.
What group was Barca again? D?
A.
C.
Oh, no. Oh, no.
Oh no.
The old
C.
right, okay, so we're A, B, or C.
So we're now A, B, or C, yeah.
Oh,
One
no.
of three chances. I mean,
Remember I said I wanted a
And
monster
none of
group?
them are
I wasn't
easy.
quite meaning it, really.
Right,
they're
who's
all
the next
difficult.
The next team out of the ball will be announced tomorrow morning.
Come on,
Copenhagen.
yeah, it's not on fire.
Just give these guys Group C right now, please.
Where can Copenhagen go? Oh,
Not
Anywhere
our
that's not
side,
been drawn.
thankfully.
No, anywhere it's not been drawn.
They can't
Anywhere.
go in our side of the draw, so it's
They can.
yeah for G.
They can go
The
anywhere
red and-
that's not been
The
drawn.
red and blue thing is just to differentiate A, B, C, D
It's the
from
grey
the
one
next
they
four.
can't go in.
Don't go in our side.
Group C? No, they didn't get Group C, did they?
Please, 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 please,
No, they didn't get Group C.
G.
please.
G.
G, yeah.
Oh,
No, it doesn't make too much difference.
Who said that? Who said Group C? Who said
Family channel. No, but it might have been a hope and dream.
Yeah, it might have been
a
hope
hoping
and
for
dream.
Group C.
That's
Yeah.
where I'm standing. No, but that's where I'm sitting
Okay.
as well.
Give me Group C, I reckon. I want
No,
Group C. now.
no, Stu, no, I'm not having it. I'm not having it.
The next team, I've got the audio on, folks, so no spoilers. I think YouTube's about 10 seconds behind.
Even longer with the yeah.
Club Brugge.
Club Bruges.
Club Brugge. Surely
They
they
can
go
go
in.
anywhere as well.
Put them in Group C, man, please.
They can go anywhere.
Oh.
The finalists of 1978.
The A,
Right,
B, C,
yeah.
D, or H.
This is heart attack stuff. You
That's
know?
just
This
worse
is
than
absolute
the
heart
last
attack
one.
stuff.
This is worse than the last 5 minutes last night.
Yeah.
Now,
I think either way, we're getting a very tough group just from A. B,
Yeah,
C.
we're getting a
I think B's are they're all tough groups. It's a Champions League, but I think B is my preferred.
That's
Group B.
They're Group B. So it's A or C then.
A or C.
So
That's
Rangers will
Ajax,
either
Liverpool,
play.
Napoli, or Barcelona.
Exactly that.
Oh dear God. We're gonna get a monster group.
This is brutal.
They're both they're probably the two worst groups.
Right, hold on. The next one's about to be drawn. In comes the audio. No spoilers, please, people, especially UM family. In the comments. Here we go. The next team drawn is
FC Rangers.
Rangers.
Rangers FC.
Group A or C from Rangers.
Right, A or C.
15
Too easy
teams
groups, you know what I mean?
Two
Too
teams
easy
from
groups.
Scotland.
Rangers will be
in group
drawn
stage.
in group.
Both Rangers and Celtic having qualified.
I don't want
Which
any
one
of
would you
these
prefer,
groups.
A or C? Which one would you prefer?
Brilliant.
See, at this stage, just give me Group C. Just give me
Uh,
it.
It's C, you know. I
Right,
can tell.
here we go. Here we go. We have been
Oh, is
drawn
it
in
not?
group.
thrilling playoff.
A.
Group A is
Bassey's
Oh, so Rangers will play Ajax, Liverpool, and
Let's go
Napoli.
with
Dodge the bullet there, boys.
That's
Dodge the bullet
massive.
there.
I mean,
Well, hang on. We dodged that bullet to the heart and took one to the head, maybe. you know?
yes.
Would you prefer Group C then?
At that point, absolutely. You know, there's two groups that are death groups right there anyway. We may as well just take in the big one.
Dinamo Zagreb.
Dinamo Zagreb.
That is very tough.
Right, so
Right, let's sort this out on the banner.
A
Wow.
few good
Ajax, Liverpool,
storylines
Napoli.
anyway. Bassey coming back, and then the whole Gerrard should have left. Liverpool coming, Ibrox.
What did I say about Bassey coming back to Ibrox?
oh, that's Stu.
Just put it up.
That's a tough group.
Could have been worse, Martin.
Ajax, Liverpool, and Napoli.
Napoli's a good away game, but their fans are mental, so they need to watch them go. But
They've quite a large stadium that they don't seem to sell out either, though. So
Yeah.
that
I mean,
could be a
look,
decent.
the Maradona stuff.
Liverpool are massive, right? A massive football club, and Ajax are historically a huge football club. There's just a part of me that's going, we've been given a really difficult group, but there's no like a you know who in there because
This is
been drawn against them and
Scott Kerr. This is his fault. He said he wanted to scream abuse at the Scousers. So
Yeah.
Me and Kerr will watch it together.
right, Stu, I shall jump out and let you take over again, but I shall end with one question that I'll ask you, and then you can put it to everybody else. What's your reaction?
I don't even know what to make of that. I think personally, I think they've probably got one of the easier groups, and we've got one of the tougher groups. I think, out of Group A and Group C, there's a flip of a coin. I know Group A looks scarier because of the names Bayern, Barca, Inter, but I mean, you're looking at Ajax, who were minutes away from a Champions League final not too long ago. Liverpool were in a Champions League final last season. And Napoli, they're never going to be much. They're always going to have something about them, aren't they? So for me, it was going to be scary either way, but it's done now. This is what we wanted to do here.
Just a wee nugget there for you, Stu.
Yeah, see, anything can happen, and anything can happen at Ibrox, especially. So this is what we wanted. We wanted to mix it with the best. So absolutely, just bring it on for me. What about you, bro?
Yeah, I mean, if it was my wish, I would have been in Group C, just getting all the monster teams in there. But Ajax, Liverpool, Napoli. I mean, the first two teams, for example, they are richly royalty European teams. Ajax 3-time winners in a row, Liverpool multiple-time winners, Napoli. I think they've won a UEFA Cup once, maybe. Still a great team. It could have been this draw could have been a lot worse, as it could have been. Who was it? Barcelona.
PSG in it.
Barcelona,
Barcelona, Bayern,
Bayern. So it could have been a
lot.
lot worse, but at least we've got a couple of big teams, and we've got a Battle of Britain as well. We've got an English team in there. I think that's a nice wee addition to it.
Definitely.
It's not often we've faced English teams in the Champions League, so it's a different English team. It's not Man United like it has been a couple of times.
We were saying earlier
that Man United this time because they're not even there.
Yeah,
but
true.
in the same sense, it's nice to have a different element to it. Liverpool, Napoli, as I said, strong Italian team. At the end of the day, This is what you want. You want to play the big teams. You want to get the big guys in Ibrox and experience Ibrox. Absolutely, I'm so looking forward to this group.
Yeah, Brian, just before, I didn't even realise, I sort of looked away from the draw after, but it was actually Victoria Pleasure that have gone into Bayern Munich, Barcelona, and Inter Milan's group.
Oh.
So it's going to be some group for them. But I mean, Brian, initial thoughts. I mean, if we're looking at the teams we've got, Ajax, I believe, are the lowest seeded team in Pot 1. They're in there because of winning one of the top 6 leagues in Europe. Tadic, Klassen, Blind. You know, they've also added Bergwijn from Spurs and, of course, Calvin Bassey from ourselves. They have sold on, though. Lisandro Martinez went to Man U. Gravenberch's gone to Bayern. He's an absolute star in the making. And Sebastian Haller went to Dortmund. I think we've played Ajax 4 times in European competitions, and we've lost all 4 times. But it was a while ago. So 72-73 Super Cup, 2 legs, and the 96-97 Champions League. But what is your reaction, Brian, to the draw?
Yeah, I was wanting some glamour ties, but I was wanting a good chance of getting 3rd place so we can get the European football after Christmas. But it's a good group. Napoli, I think, is an interesting away for the Rangers fans that will be able to make that. They've got also the Maradona history as well, and they're kind of one of the teams that are kind of a hipsters team, if you know what I mean. So I think that'll be a good away game for the fans. Liverpool, that'll be the massive talk and build up with Battle of Britain. And you've got the kind of the Gerrard kind of talk that will come along with that as well. And then Ajax, also we've got Bassey coming back to Ibrox. But it'll be good to give him a wee bit before the game, obviously not during it or after it. But before the game, give him a wee thanks and whatever, so he can get a wee send off. But like you say, I remember the games well, the early 90s against Ajax. They gave us a tanking, and that's kind of when
that's been mild.
I started to favour Ajax and look out for them, and bought a few of the strips after the games. So it's a good group. That's what you want. It's the Champions League. It's always going to be tough. Just glad we never got that group of death. Like we were kind of dreading there at the end, but I'm happy with that, and hopefully I'll get to a couple of the games at least.
Yeah, and Alex, I mean, you know, I think everyone knows everything about Liverpool already. Of course, second last season, Champions League final. We know their stars. They've added Nunes from Benfica, of course, scored a couple past us, including that last-minute equaliser. Never met Liverpool competitively, which we mentioned before, and I think the same may go for Napoli, if I'm not mistaken. Never met Napoli either. The only thing I really noted about Napoli was that they'd lost Koulibaly to Chelsea this season. So, I mean, what do you make? We've got 2 teams who've never played before competitively, which is a huge plus, and obviously the return of Calvin Bassey.
Yeah, so 9 points at home, and no, it's a huge. Okay, that's a comment that's going to throw everybody off. I think we can. I don't even know how to put it into words. I mean, you're at home and playing these guys and all that. It's going to be exciting. I mean, we always talk about the scalp we've taken off of Portugal. We have taken a fair go at them, but we've done the Netherlands as well. You know, we've played PSV. Obviously, we had Feyenoord a couple of years ago as well. We had Willem in the Willem 2 in the qualifiers a few years ago. You know what? Let's go and just beat Ajax and all. But we deserve to be there. So now we have to go and fight for our place. Napoli's a good game. The Serie A has got a lot stronger the last couple of years now that it's not just Juventus winning it. So that gives you a good challenge, a good test. But there's 3 teams that, albeit we have to go away to them, and they have quality. They are European powerhouses. I mean, Liverpool are part of the elite. They've been in 3 Champions League finals in the last 5 years. These guys are top dogs, but why not? Why can't we beat them? They've got to come to our ground. They've got to come to Ibrox, where teams such as Borussia Dortmund, who are looked upon as the best of the rest in Germany, who obviously Bayern dominate that league 10 times out of 10. Let's take them on. Bring it on.
Yeah, and I just wanted to bring this up quickly. I believe Reno is now at Valencia. Was it Napoli for a couple of years, but yeah, currently Valencia. Otherwise, we'd have another one coming home. I mean, Brian, yeah, it's just. Have we got to remember as well? You know, we all want Europe after Christmas, and we all want these glamour ties, but we've also got to remember just how much money is on offer here. 2.8 million euros for a win, almost €1 million per draw. This is a huge chance to rake in some cash if we can get some good results.
Absolutely. It's. I wouldn't. Obviously, you want third because you want to finish high up the table as you can. Certainly not saying we should finish first, amongst this caliber of teams that we're going to be facing, but you want to finish as high up as you can, at worst third. I don't necessarily think finishing fourth is going to be an absolute complete disaster. We've still got to bear in mind that the league winners next season get straight in the Champions League next season. So, bearing in mind, if we do go, it's not going to be the biggest disaster if we go out to this group because they're all top teams. So, as I've said before, and Alex has said there, we invited the big teams. We wanted the big teams. We've got some big teams. So let's just enjoy the ride, enjoy the nights at Ibrox, and obviously if we get whoever gets to go to the away games as in tickets, enjoy the atmospheres. Napoli's a new experience, so bring it on. We obviously want to finish as high up the leagues as we can. Simple as that.
Brian, I just wanted to touch on this one. Brian, sorry, Graham. Just wanted to touch on this one. If anyone knows Ajax here, we've also got obviously Dave Voss. Was coach of the Ajax under 18s youth team.
I think it was the 18s. Yeah.
Yeah, does that matter too much? I mean, obviously you can give us some insight, but it's just going to be going up against a really good side, surely.
I think they obviously know some of the kind of inside stuff that it will come in handy. Whether it's a major difference or not, they will soon find out. But obviously that was under Eric Ten Hag when they were there, like Dave Voss. So it's a new manager, so things might be a wee bit different. But like I say, it's a good group. I think we've got to try and finish second. That's our aim when we go and start. And then after the first game, the second game you adjust. And then third is the minimum kind of expectation for me. I think it is possible because we've said in the build-up, we've beat teams. A lot of these teams that are in these groups for this season coming, we've beat them or went undefeated against them. And other teams as well, like Villarreal, we were, I believe, semi-finalists last year in the Champions League. So we've got the pedigree, we've got the home stadium, we've got the fans. So we've got to go confident. But just as Brian was saying, we always need to keep an eye on the league. We can't let it affect our league for them. That's the only worry I've got. But I'm looking forward to it. Just a wee bit on Napoli. I think after the first two games, the odds are quite good for them now actually winning the 2 or 3 games. They're kind of up there with the favourites now, and they've bought one of these players, Georgia, and I'm looking forward to seeing this boy play. He's unbelievable for what I've seen him so far. So it'll be good to see another good player at Ibrox as well. So that's what it's all about as well, getting to see the best players as well. So I'm looking forward to it all.
100%, Alex. I mean, you already touched on the fact that Serie A is such a stronger league than it has been. I think was it Juventus were 4th last season, I think. So we're playing a team that's finished ahead of Juve. I mean, it's going to be some task to really get anything out of that group. But we've seen what Gio's capable of in Europe. Just how important is it going to be to get solid players in now? We touched on the signings already. How important is it for you now to get Morelos back up to speed? Because he's, I wanted to touch on this earlier, but Morelos, for those who don't know, posted a little clip on his Instagram last night. Basically, not the exact words, but basically saying my team congratulating all the boys for what they've done, which I thought showed a touch class from him because I thought he'd be a bit petulant about it, but he wasn't. He seems focused. There was clips of him in the gym from last night. So how important is it to get players like Morelos in up to speed and just have everyone sort of singing from the same hymn sheet?
Yeah. Also, what I would say, we've not touched on it, but everybody is going to be tuning in. I mean, the whole of England always tune into the English Champions League groups, and one of the favourites is obviously Liverpool. So everybody's going to be tuning into that game. players are gonna want to be watched. You know, this is
Very
a
true.
big group against big teams. This is a lot of chances, a lot of opportunities for players to come in and grasp a chance at, you know, Champions League football. And if they play well and they do well, then, you know, what's stopping them from going on and succeeding and having a massive career, such as, you know, Bassi did in the Europa League build up, and obviously the Europa League final for us last year. People started taking notice. It's going to be the same in the It's going to be more in the Champions League. These guys are the elite of the elite. We've drawn a really tough group with Ajax, with Liverpool, with Napoli, three really tough teams, and people are just going to want to come and perform. They are just going to want to come and perform. So it's interesting. I think a lot of players will be kind of pulled in by the fact that we've got such a massive group, such an eye-opening group, and a mouth-watering 6 ties to come. But we need to get the players in our camp fit, and obviously we've not got a lot of time to turn over between now and a week's time when the window ends. So surely, and I have faith that they did have a lot of names already planned. And I'm sure the contact has already been started, and it's all about getting the deals over the line now. Like I say, we're a few players short of where I would like us to be, and to take it to that next level, to even compete with these teams in one-off games, we still need a little bit of quality.
Yeah, and Brian, I mean, you know, I think it goes without saying that the Liverpool game is going to probably blow the roof off.
Yeah.
I think everyone's a little bit jaded. There's so many things I still wanted to touch on, but we'll try and keep it a little bit brief. I mean, what are your thoughts on Liverpool in particular? The sort of Salah, Nunez again. You know, we played against him for Benfica.
Played against him, yeah.
Yeah. Diaz obviously has been coming into his own. They'll probably have Jota back, but also, you know, how important is it to have fresh legs for us, because it's going to be a shorter span of time to play these games with the World Cup, because I think it's 9 weeks to play the games instead of 12 weeks as usual. Yeah. So we're going to be, I think there's only 2 weeks or so that we don't play a Champions League game. Mm-hmm. So it's going to be important now to get.
I think it's basically like it's a 2 week. We play 2 weeks in a row, week off, 2 weeks in a row, game off, and then it's the last 2 fixtures.
Yeah, I think that's
so
right.
You know, I think there's an international fixture thrown in there as well somewhere. But no, I mean, obviously Liverpool's going to grab the headlines because it's a Battle of Britain game. The Ajax game with the Bassi returning, that'll raise some eyebrows as well. Napoli is probably the unknown one because we've never played them. Obviously Van Dijk returning to Ibrox as well as an ex one of them. There's that element to it. Andy Robertson probably as well. He's ex one of them as well. So there's that 2 elements to the Liverpool strand. But you know, it's just so. Honestly, I woke up this morning and I was just wishing it was 5 o'clock this morning because I was so desperate to see this game, because I was so excited to see the Champions League, us being back in the Champions League, and I was just champing at the bit for 5 p.m. Although it took them another half hour to even get underway, but you know, just to see our name in the draw and involved, it was, as I say, it was a long 12 years since we were last involved, and it's just great to be back. And as I say, see if we had ended up in Group C, wouldn't have minded, the big guns. That's what it's all about. But it's a great group. There's a sneaky chance we can get through into third year. It's not out with the realms of our possibilities. We've got a great home record. So it's doable, this group, although it looks on paper as a possible group of death, some might say, but it's not out with the realms of us to get something out of this group.
Yeah, I mean, my partner, she supports Liverpool, so if we get anything out of that game, I can guarantee I won't be allowed back for a few weeks at least. Brian, I didn't want to turn it too much into the Morelos situation, but we've got, I said this on the pod recently when we spoke about Morelos, as he is at his last chance. It seems to me that the perception of our fans now is changing a little bit on Morelos, and I think not that the penny's dropped, but I think a lot are fed up with him, and I think we're maybe now at 50-50 where people either want to say thanks Alfie, move on, or they say no, do you know what, Alfie can get back into it and Forest there. But we know he's an ambitious guy. He's always spoke about the Premier League and Champions League. Is it now a great chance to say it is your last chance? You've got to knuckle down because you've got a chance here to go and play and put yourself on the biggest stage. Graham, sorry. I don't know what I said there.
Sorry. It's a tough one for me because I'm one of Alfie's biggest fans, so I'm not really enjoying the way it's kind of looking just now. So I'm trying to kind of hold on, hope that it can come back. And I've seen a lot of people mention Barry Ferguson can come back and win over the fans again. Gorham, Haitley had a bad start and stuff, all that kind of stuff. So I'm kind of wanting to hold on to some hope, but again, if he goes, as long as we've got someone in mind and it's going to suit Van Bronckhorst, it's who Van Bronckhorst wants, all the kind of usual kind of queries when it comes to transfers. As long as they're kind of aligned, I'll be happy for him to go. But wish him all the best. After all, I'd love to have seen him in the Champions League because he is our top goal scorer in Europe. And I think deep down, if I'm being honest, he deserves the chance to lead the line at Ibrox with that theme music playing. So it's a tough one, isn't it? It's sad the way it's looking, and I don't like seeing situations like this. But hopefully, it can get resolved for the best of us and Alfie. That's probably the way I'd sum it up.
Yeah, and Alex as well. Maybe a bit of axe to grind for people like Kent that can go and show the team that said you're not good enough exactly what he can do against him. And hopefully we're going to add these guys in to really boost our chances there. And I don't want to come away from the Champions League too much, but I did just want to touch a little bit on Gio because he gets it so right in Europe almost every single time. But how do you see the league campaign going now? Especially following last night, because we haven't started that great. We've got some results. Obviously, the Hibs game was a 9-men situation, but the performances haven't been there just yet. We do have the shackles on a little bit. Do you think that this is going to encourage him maybe just to be a little bit more adventurous?
Maybe I would. This is a good thing about a podcast. I'd actually disagree. I'd say we've never been adventurous away from home under Gio, and that does seem to be an issue. But I actually thought Kilmarnock did make us huff and puff, but I thought we played all right. We just were not exactly a massively clinical side, and then obviously we did finally manage to put quite a few past the team in the form of St. Johnstone. But even Livy away, I thought we were much the better side. It took us time to wake up as always, but there was urgency, and we turned it around and probably could have or should have had a few more goals than we did. Hibs away is a tough one. I think I mentioned that at the moment I think we'd struggle to win dirty, and by that I don't mean win by 1 goal like we did against Livy or win by 2 goals at home against Kilmarnock. I mean a really poor performance like against Hibs. We just struggle. I mean, even obviously we lose 2 men and with them on the pitch you don't know what happens there, but we do struggle to win dirty, to win when we are not necessarily second best, but just not anywhere near our best. And obviously Hibs showed that in the first half. We were pretty rubbish. I mean, we didn't take shots. And then in the second half, it looked like we were gonna wake up and bring it, and then 2 red cards kind of swing the game. But again, people are gonna be fighting for positions, so there's that to be had as well. There's players that are gonna have to fight for position now, and players who are going to want to play in these games. Nobody at that club, I can guarantee, is going to be wanting to be omitted or even sitting on the bench whilst these games are going on. They're going to want to be involved.
Yeah, I just say something. We were talking about transfers and that. As long as we're in a stage now where we don't need to buy kind of squad players like that, it's got to be every signing out for now on. There's got to be improving the first 11, in my opinion, as well as keeping pathways for the young players to get chances. That's the way kind of modern football is now, so I hope we stick to that, and that's the way we kind of look at the last week of this transfer window.
Yeah, absolutely.
A wee side note for you, Graham: the UEFA Youth League is going to be mirrored on the Champions League as well.
Yeah. Oh, that's great.
That's right. Yeah,
That'll be good.
They've just
Right.
tweeted that. So
yeah, you're correct there. So of course, there's,
the UEFA Youth League is going to be exactly the same draw.
yeah. So the youth league, I believe, works. There's sort of two sides of the draw. You have your youth champion side, which will play their random or their seeded draw, and then you have the other side of the draw, which is it works exactly the same as the Champions League. The groups are exactly the same. And then after the groups, they meet each other, or they can meet each other based on seedings and things like that. So that'll be really, really exciting because I think it was Hibs that won the youth league, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Hibs will be in the other side, and so we'll have 3 Scottish teams in the.
How will we do in that, Graham? Do you think?
Liverpool are pretty good at that level. I don't know much about Napoli and Ajax. Their youth system's always.
Yeah.
They've got a good few players coming through just now. That'll be good to see our players up against. I'm not sure if Adam Divide and they ones could maybe drop into it. No, they're too old now, aren't they? I think they've passed the stage.
I think it's under. Is it under 18 or under 19? I believe.
I think you might get a few at 19s. So, but
Yeah.
it'll be a great test, and obviously that's what we want to get our players used to, playing against these teams in competitive matches. Because we've got a good, quick record of late when we do the kind of friendlies against them and friendly tournaments. So it's always great to see the players play at that level against these teams.
Yeah, and Curry Muncher. I don't think I've actually seen too much in the chat just yet, but Ajax Twitter post Big Shirley. So yeah, I think Brian just showed that on the screen. Ajax have put up a picture of Bassi reacting to the draw. So I think it's going to be it's going to be good fun until the match kicks off with Ajax. I think there'll sort of be a good relationship between the clubs with the whole Dutch connection as well. So that's going to be really exciting. Who else have we got making points in this chat? Then we've got the big man.
Before you go to somebody else, I'm waiting to go to football, by the way, and the person who's going to pick me up is late. So I just thought I would drop this in. We may do something special for the Liverpool game in the Champions League. So for all our members, for all the people watching, keep your eyes peeled. It may be a large gathering in a place where you can purchase alcohol. Maybe. Just maybe. So yeah, we may do something like that. So if you're not a member yet, please do become one. Join as a member. Subscribe, like, all that good stuff. How does that sound,
half
Brian?
and half scarf for Liverpool Rangers.
You cannot get your half and half scarves. Nope, Heather. You are a Rangers fan only that night. But I'm thinking we could maybe do a wee special night for a Liverpool game. So we shall see. But I just thought I would absolutely not. Absolutely not. And luckily Michael's heard of those places that you can gather and drink alcohol pops. So keep your eyes peeled, keep subscribed, keep checking on the community page, and of course, please do become a member.
Yeah, so I'm definitely not bringing her to that because that could literally all hell will break loose if I bring her up for that. Honestly, I feel like watching that. I feel like I've just gone through 90 minutes. Like, it feels like I've just watched a match. Like, it's absolutely insane. So, Brian, I mean, last few thoughts. I mean, just sum up your feeling on the group in as a whole. Sorry.
As I've said a few times, I'm just so chuffed to be back in this position. So chuffed for the club, the players, the management, and more especially the fans, because we've endured an awful lot over the last few years. And it's so nice to be even mentioned in the same breath as some of these teams. It's just brilliant. And I'm so as I say, if we had got the group of death in Group C, I would have still been as excited as I am just now because if it was the group of death or the jobber group or the so-called jobber group, I would have still been excited because this is the table we want to play at. This is where we want to test ourselves. We got to the Europa League final last year. The natural progression now is to go to the Champions League and see how good we are in that stage. And I think if Liverpool are firing all cylinders, we've got a tough group, a tough team. But Ajax, we beat Eindhoven, they beat them. Napoli, we don't quite know how they are, but it's certainly not the Giants like group is in Group C. So we've got a chance. That's as Graham said earlier. As long as we had a chance to progress and beyond Christmas, that's all we could ask for.
Yeah, and Graham, actually get your name right for once. I don't know what's been going on. So I think I'm just the draw has got me going all over the place. What about you? Just sum up your overall feeling on it.
It's just like we've all said, it's just great to be back where we belong. It's been a long, hard 12 years, and but as I said in the group chat, like, when Martin formed the Rangers rabble, and we've had some journey following this team. The last 3 years have been unreal, and the rabble's kind of made it kind of feel closer to the team, and we've got a good community building. So it'll be great to experience Champions League, and hopefully, if Martin says we can get this wee night sorted for Liverpool, that'd be great. I'll be booking my holidays now for that week. So it's great to be back, and once we get to Ibrox and hear that theme music, that's what it's all about. And the Union Bears, I'm pretty sure, have some cracking tifos to get made to go around the world. So it's just buzzing, mate, buzzing.
And Alex, I mean, like Graham's just said, there's from where I know they throw it around so often, from where we were to where we've got to again, like getting back to where we belong. But it maybe not journey complete, but very close.
So what I was just going to say on what Graham said, obviously the rabble have come far in the last 3 years, and as you're saying there, Rangers have come far, so far in the last 12 years. The last 10 years we've had to put up with a lot, but even to go back just over a year ago, we were dumped out by Malmo and were not convincing whatsoever against Alashkert going into the second leg, where realistically it could have gone either way, and then to be sitting 12 months later looking at a group like that after qualifying in the way we did, after all the hardship of getting to the Europa League final last season, it is some journey, and there is still a long way to go, because we don't settle for mediocrity. We don't settle for a couple of trophies here and there. We are the best team in this country, and this land belongs to us. So now we go and show that.
Yeah, and I just wanted to just pop in there. Derek Agnew has become a member, so thank you very, very much. Really, really appreciate support, and as Martin's already mentioned, we may have something going on for the Liverpool game, so watch this space in that one. I think Alex sort of summed it up perfectly there to end the show on, guys. I would just want to say as well, like, thank you for all your support as always. I think we're about 50, maybe even 49 away now after that one from 6K subscribers. So, if you can just jump in, it really helps out. And as I say, hopefully we'll be doing a lot more extras, and hopefully as well, if you're a member, you're getting your money's worth. We've got these member shows coming up and every Sunday now, so and I think they'll change. I think they'll get some light-hearted ones as well. So it'd be lots of fun to go in amongst all the seriousness we've got coming up in this group. So if everyone could just drop us in what you think of the group in the comments after. Martin loves reading all that stuff, so he'll spend all his time, probably misses football, just to read all your comments. So yeah, but apart from that, guys, from us, been an absolutely fantastic show. Thanks, Brian, Graham, Alex.
Cheers,
and,
guys.
We'll see you next time.